نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. ثم أما بعد، لا يمكن أن يعيش الإنسان مطمئنًا هادئ البال من غير أن يعرف ويفهم التوحيد، وعلى الأخص توحيد الأسماء والصفات. لا بد من أن نعلم أن الله سبحانه وتعالى، أو من أسمائه سبحانه وصفاته، أنه عليم حكيم عدل. عليم حكيم عدل and qadir. If you really want to live in peace with yourself and content with your religion, in particular the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ahkam, it's impossible to do that unless you really understand the Tawheed. In particular, Tawheed, the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I mean not counting them or basically knowing them, but really understanding, digging deep into them. In particular, the name that He is all-knowing, Al-Alim, all-able, Al-Qadir, just. He is the just. And He is subhanahu wa ta'ala Hakim. What is Hakim? A person who puts things in their proper perspective, the proper place. You say the right thing in the right time, in the right way, in the right place. This is wisdom, this is hikmah. Many people ask questions because they don't really know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or some of His names and attributes. I'm going to relate two hadith for you, connect them, and see what we get out of it. النعمان بن بشير رضي الله عنه يقول: مثل القائم على حدود الله والواقع فيها كمثل قوم استهموا على سفينة فكان بعضهم في أعلاها وبعضهم في أسفلها، فكان الذين في أسفلها إذا استقوا مروا على من فوقهم فقالوا لو أنا خرقنا في نصيبنا خرقا فلم نؤذ من فوقنا، فإن تركوهم وما أرادوا هلكوا جميعا، وإن أخذوا على أيديهم نجوا ونجوا جميعا. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah reported that Nu'man ibn Bashir radiyallahu anh said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the example of the person who is holding people from falling and breaking the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the one who is falling into breaking the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يعني الذي يأمر بالمعروف وينهى عن المنكر، هذا القائم على حدود الله. It's like a group of people in a ship. Who's going to be on the top and who's going to be on the bottom? They drew for it. Some went to the bottom, some went to the top. Now when the bottom one want to get some water, they go up and they pass by the one who is up. They could be sleeping, they could be eating, they could be busy. They're going to interrupt their life. So they were intending something good. So they said, how about if we make a hole in the ship and we get the water from there and we don't have to bother our brothers upstairs. Now, if those people there, whoever suggested the idea, would let them do that, all of them will die because they will drown. And if they stop them from doing that, they will all be saved. Take this hadith And take the other hadith, حذيفة بن اليمان رضي الله عنه قال: والذي نفسي بيده لتأمرن بالمعروف ولتنهون عن المنكر أو ليوشكن الله أن يبعث عليكم عذابا منه. Pay attention here. ثم تدعونه فلا يستجاب لكم. How many, let me just explain it before. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I swear by the one my soul in his hand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you must enjoin good and forbid evil, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inflict you with a punishment from him, and then you would ask him and beg him and make dua, and he will not answer you. Both of these hadith relating to what? Enjoining good and forbidding evil. In the shirk, some people want to do something evil, even though their intention is good, but the action is evil. They want to not bother the people upstairs, but their action is going to drown everyone. I know it, you know it. What am I going to do about it? If I let you do it, I'm going to die with you. If I stop you, even if I have to fight you, then I will save you and I will save myself. That's exactly what happened in the Ashab al-Sabt in Surah Al-Baqarah. Some people said, Ittaqullah, don't fish on Saturday. If you do that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish you. He warned you, have fear. The other people, good people, why are you doing that? Why are you bothering yourself? Let them do whatever they want to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of them. He is able to do that. He warned them. He can decide. Relax, man. Enjoy yourself. What happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ أَخَذْنَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِعَذَابٍ أَنْجَيْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَأَخَذْنَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِعَذَابٍ بَئِيسٍ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْسُقُونَ. Those who enjoin good and forbid evil, the only one who was saved. But the good ones, the good believers who did not enjoin good and forbid evil, they got the punishment with the wrongdoers. So you come and you, why all these problems? Why? What's going on in the world? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doing this? How come we're making dua left and right and no answers? I thought Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers. I thought Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala merciful. I thought. Now you're blaming Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our problems. What do you know about yourself? What do you know about people? What do you know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَمَا ظَنُّكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. فَمَا ظَنُّكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. You think whatever you want to think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you get what you think. If you think He is all just and He is all wise and He is all knowing and He is all able, then naturally there is something that you don't know. Naturally that He has a plan that you are not aware. It's the same like وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Why your son gets sick and he's not 15 years old? He's a test for you. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ. And it's a training for him. Imagine yourself if you never felt pain at all. And then you become an adult and somebody punch you. That's the first time you feel pain. What would you do? You know when the child gets hurt in the beginning, how, then after that easier, then after that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts people in training. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you amongst each other. He tests you. I could be with my son or with my family. Some of them are getting punished for something they did. And I am being tested through their punishment to see how I would take it. So brothers, if you don't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you have doubt in the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why believers are always relaxed. I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just and perfect. I know whatever happens to me, I deserve it. That's the least I can say about myself. I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even more merciful. It could be a lot worse than what it is. And wallahi, each and every one of us, if you think about your life and you are fair and you know the halal and haram. See, if you don't know your religion, you might not even get close to figuring it out. But if you know halal and haram and you look at yourself, what you're doing and what you're saying, wallahi, you would think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful God that you could ever think of. Because you should be gone a long time ago, based on what I do and what I say and versus what I really serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything is just. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can help and can remove calamities. But He has the wisdom. فَلِلَّهِ الْحُجَّةِ الْبَالِغَةِ فَلَوْ شَاءَ لَهَدَاكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the absolute final decision. And He has subhanahu wa ta'ala the right. Imagine if He punishes every one of us in the masjid, the wonderful people we are. If you look at yourself as a wonderful people, if He punishes all of us and puts us in hellfire, it is just. Can you imagine? Every ni'mah He gives us is a plus that we don't deserve. And every punishment, if He punishes all of us, He is just. So don't think that we deserve the ni'am that He gives us. We don't. Wallahi, based on what we have and what we give back, we don't give 1 of a trillion of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should get. We bothered with an extra minute or 2 in the salah. We're bothered if you need to do a prayer, an extra prayer, or fast a little bit here, or pay 2.5%. Many people, like people come and ask for money. People don't even pay the zakat. The 2.5% is not paid. And it is cleaning your money and making it more. Yet we don't do it. And then we come and doubt and question the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go back and see why we are chosen people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I conclude with that. Why? كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. That's why you're good, because you enjoy good and forbid evil. How many of us look at the hadith? If you don't do that, what happens? Your dua is invalid. It's not accepted. So you can raise your hands in Taraweeh. You can sing all you want. You can chant all you want. Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is like, He's not there. Fix yourself before you make the dua. If you don't care about the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't expect Him to care about your rights. If you don't serve Him, yet He does. He does subhanahu wa ta'ala with His mercy. But I'm talking about when we come and look at it this way. لعن الذين كفروا من بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى بن مريم. Why? They're cursed. ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. It's because they don't enjoy good and forbid evil. Some people curse because of that, they don't do it. And some people, their dua is not accepted. So we raise our dua hands and we cry in everything. Just like the story of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, when he saw a person making so much dua and so much into it, looks like he is desperate. He said, Ya Allah, Wallahi, if I have what he's asking, I'll give it to him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, Ya Musa, هذا يدعوني وقلبه معلق بغنمه. This person is calling me and he's looking at his sheep. He's checking with his sheep and mouth mumbling, and he is caring for the sheep. He's not with me. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not listen to a person who is heedless. His heart is heedless and his tongue is moving. Many of us, we raise our hands and we say Ameen, 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 and we have no idea what the person is saying. He could be making a mistake, and I did one time. I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put us all in hellfire. Everybody said Ameen. Wallah. And I was like shocked. And then next year, another sheikh did the same thing. I was behind him. I said, I don't think so. But I didn't say it, because if I say it, my salah is invalid. I was going, Mish Ameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Study and learn the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and always rely on Him. You will be happy. جزاكم الله خير.